able to control the play in midfield, the way that Maradona has been able to do. And he's hurting England again here. It's a brilliant run. It's one of the World Cup great goals. And there's no doubt about that one. He left a trail of England players.
Before we get started in earnest today, obviously recording a few hours after the death of Diego Maradona was announced, and I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me when I say that he was just one of the greats as far as football concerned. Just a superb, amazing talent. He was just like up there, and at the time he was quite head and shoulders above the best in the world.
Yeah.
Elite player, elite talent.
Elite. Yeah, elite.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yes. Welcome everyone to episode 36 of FPL Bros this evening. How you guys all doing?
All good?
Yeah, okay. All right then, wonderful. So we've got quite a bit to get into this episode. First of all, we will start with the not always painful, but sometimes review of how our game weeks went. And does anybody want to go first this time? Because I don't think it was bad all round, all told.
I'll go first. Mine was terrible.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I was thinking, did you see everybody's game week?
I just remember thinking, James.
Awful.
Yeah. Sorry,
I took out Son, who obviously returned, and I brought in De Bruyne, who didn't return. And I captained Rashford, who didn't return, and I vice-captained Calvert-Lewin, who returned. So, yeah, I just got it wrong, horribly wrong. Zaha had COVID, so, nothing there for me in terms of points. But Taylor got me a clean sheet, which was really good. Chilwell got me a clean sheet, which was also really good. And McCarthy also got me a clean sheet. So, some decent clean sheets at the back, which I was happy with. But, yeah, overall, I finished with 51 points, and I took a -4 point hit. So, not the best of game weeks for me.
Okay. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
all right.
You win some, you lose some.
All right, I'll go next. We'll save the best for last then, Jamie. Okay. Yeah, I got 71 points, but that was with a -4, so I actually finished the weekend on 67 points. And I mean, the thing is, I don't care about what happened to my team. I really don't care. I'm not going to talk about it at all. Just Bellerin. Hector flipping Bellerin. After all my talk, he finally does it for me. And it was a heart-stopping 9 points because we're listening to that Leeds Arsenal game, and the amount of times like Leeds hit the post or the frame, and it was like, I'd be like, Bamford, oh, he's hit the post. Click, oh, he's hit the post. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then not only did he get the 6 points, obviously, but he got the 3 bonus as well. So finally, after all this time, he does what I brought him in for. And that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about. I picked Bellerin, and I've finally been vindicated. So I'm done. Yeah, Kojo out. Sorry?
Top notch. Bellerin came through for you.
Out. Yeah.
All right. Well, so I suppose this can lead on to, I think, what will be our second point, but I played my wild card this week. So my team looks a lot different to what it looked like last week, and I managed to haul 70 points with my new team, which isn't so bad compared to, I think I got 56 in the last game week. So already I feel a lot better. I haven't compared like player for player what I might have gotten this week, so I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to upset myself just in case. But like my big hitters, I had 4 dream team players. I had Robertson, Bellerin, Fernandes, and Calvert-Lewin. Fernandes I had captained, so he brought me in 22 points. Zuma, clean sheet. And the rest, really not much to write home about. Martinez with 1, Williams, defense, Grealish, Foden, Bamford with 2. Like they weren't great, but it was those guys who were my hitters who managed to put it home for me.
Yeah, okay, pretty good.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
And yeah, we might as well move on to the second topic, which is, in case any of you might have noticed, 2 of our casters have actually wildcarded. Obviously, Jamie did it for last game week, so he's already seen the effects of his wildcard. But also, Derek, you wildcarded as well, so you can take us through your picks and why in a second. But yeah, Jamie, generally speaking, if I've got this right, the main thing you did with your wildcard is you got rid of your Tottenham boys and your Sheffield United boys.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like they were just taking up space for no reason. So all in all, what I did was I like you said, I swapped out Mitrovic. I got rid of Mitrovic, Costa from Leeds, Mitrovic from Fulham, Son and Doherty, and then both of my Sheffield boys who were pretty much bench warmers, and Hernandez, who was also a bench warmer. And I brought in some firepower pretty much. Oh, I also got rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I've been talking about. If you've been listening to previous weeks, I've been talking about him for ages. Like, he's going this week, guys. He's going this week, and well, finally I did it. So I got rid of Trent, brought in Robertson, brought in Bellerin, brought in Fernandez, brought in Foden, and brought in Bamford as well. And then I had some like filler spaces with Dunn and Nico Williams, because I thought maybe he'll get some game time from the Liverpool defensive troubles at the moment, which worked out well. I got a point, so that's all right. He took Wilson off for me, who was my original up front as well. So he got me a point this week, which I don't hate. So yeah, that was basically what I did. And I took a lot of note from what we were doing last week. I wasn't going to have any City plays, but last minute I brought in Foden because I thought he's cheap. I can get him in and he might get me a few points. I'm hoping that Rodriguez comes through and picks up some form from the beginning of the season with the Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez link up.
I watched a lot of that game. It was Everton-Fulham, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Rodriguez, he doesn't, do an awful lot defensively, but I'm not going to begrudge him that, because at the end of the day, you don't want him defending, do you, really? Mm-hmm. You want him concentrating on, okay, so Everton's conceded 2 goals, but, if he's assisting or if he's scoring goals, that's fine. The thing is, every time he goes on international break, he comes back really late because he's got to usually fly back all the way from South America. So, yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and maybe say he was feeling it a little bit, but I'm sure there's still plenty more to come from him. And at that price, he's complaining. He's cheaper than Son, he's cheaper than Sterling, De Bruyne, he's cheaper than Havertz and Pulisic and Ziyech. So,
Yeah, because by swapping him out with Son, I was able to save a little bit of money. I think I saved some extra money in defence, and that means that when Salah's back fit, that means I've got a midfield of Salah, Grealish, Fernandez, and Rodriguez. And you can't really scoff at that at all. So hopefully that brings these points going forward.
Yeah, that sounds like a strong midfield there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you must have been disappointed with Wilson though, because I don't know if anybody knows when he's actually coming back, but.
It seems like a bit of a niggling injury. It seems like it's going to be a really annoying hamstring injury. Is
that right?
Because at the moment that's what they're saying on FPL, 75% chance with hamstring. But I don't know. I feel like we're not getting the full story, so I've just got to kind of wait and see and bide my time. Yeah. But I'm holding it out until as late as possible on Friday, and we'll see what I do there.
Yeah. All right then.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
So Derek, obviously we've yet to see the fruits of your wildcard, but obviously you're pretty good about it. So, what are the main things? What should be catching our eye here?
So this wildcard was tough for me because there were a lot of players I wanted to get into the team, but you just can't have them all. You really can't. So I had to make some sacrifices. I did have to compromise, and I did have to think about long term, as well as looking at the players which are currently in form as well, and thinking, is that form going to last? So, do you want me to run you through my wildcard team, or do you want me to run you through some of the players?
Take us through the main picks then. How about that?
Yeah, I'll take you through the main picks. So I'll start from up front and I'll work my way to the defence. So up front, I initially had Kane, but looking at Leicester's upcoming fixtures, they do look pretty saucy. Like I said previously, they've got Fulham, Sheffield United, Brighton and Everton, who all do concede goals. So I've brought in Vardy and I think he's going to be quite a good asset for me moving forward. I did have to compromise and bring in a cheapie as well up front. So I did bring in Adams, who's playing really well, actually. Without Danny Ings there, he is getting more involved in the goals and assists, along with Theo Walcott. So I thought, bringing Adams, they've got United, Brighton, Sheffield United, and Arsenal, who once again, don't always have the best of defences. So I do expect him to bring some points, especially at a price tag of 5.9 mil.
Yeah,
he is worth
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I did consider Bamford, but Leeds do have some tricky fixtures coming up, so I did think to stay away from him. Also, Adams has a low ownership percentage, so he is a bit more of a differential. With me trying to catch up and make ground, I did think it worked out better in my favour. In midfield, I'd say the main attraction is for me bringing Salah back in, but that's not a surprise. I think a lot of people will be doing that.
Yeah,
I did
definitely.
also think about, once again, differentials. That is key for me. So I did think of bringing in Jota. He can't be ignored, with his performance right now. And when Klopp last lined up, when all our forwards and midfielders were fit, Jota was brought into the team with Salah leading the attack and having Jota on the right with Mane on the left and Firmino in the middle. So I do see him playing that kind of attacking line when we have our next game, which is against the Brighton that do concede a lot of goals. So I thought Salah Jota will be a good combination. A price tag of 6.6 mil. You literally can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong.
No, and he still is only 6.6 mil, but I can't help thinking it's going to be 6.7 by tomorrow night. Actually, I just wanted to say it wouldn't surprise me if Klopp continued to shoehorn all of Salah, Mane, Jota, and Firmino. Because if I remember correctly, although I'm sure you're going to correct me on this, back in the day when Klopp first came in and he had Coutinho and he brought in Firmino, and people did think that Coutinho and Firmino were quite similar types of players and that he was only going to play one or the other. But for a while, he played them both, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And then for a while, it was like the Fab Four at Liverpool: Coutinho, Firmino, Salah, and Mane, and he it was pretty much like that until Coutinho left. So the fact that Jota's proved himself, it's not like he has to be sitting in reserve or a sub. He may well have his place nailed now. I can see that happening.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely one to consider if you do want to differential. A cheap player as well, who will return. Obviously, alternatives to him are the likes of Phil Foden, who's also obviously another great asset. So with City's upcoming fixtures, they have Burnley, Fulham, United, and West Brom. It is worth considering. 3 of those fixtures are very easy. Of the 4, and the fixtures even after that are still good fixtures, but 3 of them are very easy. So I do expect a lot of goals from the City side. They've got a lot to prove after their last game. Wasn't it a loss or was it a win? I can't remember now. It was they lost to Spurs, didn't they? 2-0.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Although somebody made this comment somewhere that the game seemed like, sometimes when you play Football Manager and you have a vastly superior team to the one the computer's playing against you, and your team takes like 30 shots with 20 on target, and then the computer team just takes 1 shot which goes in, and you just think the computer's cheating here. That's what Pep must have been thinking.
Yeah, I think so.
I watched that game and City dominated possession in their half and in the middle, but they did nothing in the final third. And Tottenham were just clinical. They were unforgiving. And Kane was outstanding in that game. He dominated. He made the City defenders nervous. He was making runs. He was making passes. He was, getting fouled. He played brilliantly. Absolutely fantastic. And I think City were the better team on paper, but I think Tottenham just had more heart. And I think sometimes you forget, it's not always the better team that wins. It's a team that has the mentality and heart that wins. And I don't know what Jose is doing at Spurs, but whatever he's doing is working.
Yeah, same. I hate to say it. It's I'm an Arsenal fan, as everyone probably knows who's listening to this. I hate to say it. Spurs do look tidy right now. I'm really hoping the wheels fall off before Christmas and like they just come to a horrible stop, because they're looking like one of the most dangerous teams in the league, if not, or going on form, maybe even the most dangerous.
There's a lot to be said for that, definitely. But you know, a lot can happen even between now and Saturday. A lot can happen. You know, one or two COVIDs, one or two
Kane breaks a leg.
Well, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody.
I mean, I'm
but
not wishing
hey.
anything. I'm just saying, like, law of possibility, anything's possible kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's true though.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yeah, obviously, I think a lot of active managers are trying to pile in on Man City right now.
Yeah.
I noticed brought in Cancelo as well.
Yes, I had to. You know, he is a starter. He is an attacking threat, and they do have once again Burnley, Fulham, and West Brom defence to play again. So I can see him maybe getting an assist, but also I can see him keeping a clean sheet at the price of 5.5 in comparison to some of the other attacking fullbacks out there. Your Robertsons, your Chilwells. He is cheaper, and he has got better fixtures coming up. So I did think, you know, get him in the team because I can see his price going up in the next couple of game weeks.
He has attracted a lot of attention because it's unusual, isn't it, for Pep to settle on a defence, which is why I'm still on a watching brief, because Mendy played today, and I think he probably played 90 minutes as well.
Oh, did
and
he?
Yes, and the thing is, no matter how much of a disaster Mendy seems to be, I think Pep likes him.
yeah, he loves him. I'll tell you that just from looking back, like he'll put up a disaster class. He'll put a player through or something, and then he's just there on the team sheet next week. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because he's like he's like a left-sided forward, really. I'm not so sure why he's a defender, but something tells me that even if Cancelo plays the next couple of games, Mendy's going to take some minutes off him. But I'm not going to rain on your parade, Derek, because as you pointed out, you only paid 5.5 for him. So, you know, compared to all the other big team attacking fullbacks, you know, 5.5 is the least you pay. You generally get 6 or 6.5.
Exactly.
I guess that 0.5 you're saving is what you get for playing with Pep rotation, I think.
Exactly.
I mean, I could be wrong. He could have settled on the guy. But the thing is, Mendy is just like, he spends so much time in the opposition box. I can't help thinking that's what Pep wants from his left-sided fullback.
I do remember when Mendy used to play, well, when Mendy was still fit and was starting regularly, he never played the same time as, I can't remember if it was Sterling or Sane, but Pep used to hate playing the two together because what he used to find was they wouldn't link up properly because they'd both be trying to go up too much. And he started rotating them and not playing the two at the same time. So I think it was with Sane. So when Mendy was playing, Sterling would be playing, but not Sane. And if Sane was playing, he wouldn't be playing Mendy, he'd be playing someone else. And I just think they just weren't compatible. Obviously, Sane is gone now, but I think with Cancelo's minutes and shift he's put in right now, I think Pep is quite satisfied with his performance. He hasn't really given Pep any reason to take him out of the team, and I think it would be a bit harsh for him to be dropped now that Mendy is fit again. But once again, you know, it's Pep. He can do it. But I thought
again, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. Yes, on the face of it, there isn't any real reason you would think for Pep to start playing Mendy again, apart from the fact that Man City aren't scoring anywhere near as many goals as they should be, you know. And I'm going back to my original point. Mendy is just this mad attacking fullback who'd be standing there on the penalty spot while the other team's at the other end on a fast break about to score a goal.
Yeah.
And Pep just might be prepared to take a punt on that.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
But aside from that, no, it's looking strong. Again, you've dispensed with the Spurs boys, and as you know, we've mentioned before, their run is looking quite tough. But looking to the future, Leicester also seems quite reasonable. Harvey Barnes, you know, I know he's been frustrating for some of us, in the past. He's also produced the goods for some of us in the past as well. I think I had him for the time he got 19 points. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, as good as time as any to wildcard. I know a lot of active managers have also done it around this sort of time, mainly because they wanted to get Man City players in. And you've covered your base with Fernandes there as well. So yeah, I mean, obviously we've already discussed Man City for a fair bit already, but has anybody got any more to add? You know, conceivably they're a top 3, top 2, top 1 team. Their fixtures are looking a little bit better. And some people are saying, well, they don't have the form, but because the fixtures are so easy, that's going to kickstart the form. I mean, Jamie, do you have any thoughts on that? I know you picked Foden, and I'm guessing if you had more money, you might have gone for somebody else.
To be honest, no, because I wildcarded. I literally had the idea of like, all right, who's getting me consistent points? Who's gonna do what? And like even it was shortly after the chat that we had last week regarding like who's got the good fixtures coming up and things like that. I even made a note on my phone on the teams that we said City and Villa to look out for because their fixtures don't look too scary. And I was like, all right, focus on those players. When it came to picking it, I had De Bruyne there and I took him straight out again. I just thought, I don't want him in there. Like I don't know what it is for me this season. I just don't see him giving me the goods that everybody's putting the faith in for him, Like so far this season, he's got a total of 29 points. Like that's the whole season. Maybe that's due to form. Maybe that's due to the teams they've been playing. Maybe he's not been playing that well. He hasn't had as many minutes. I don't know. But I just wasn't up for it. And I wasn't up for Pep. I feel like he's got too many players to be rotating around and things. Obviously, De Bruyne, his stalwart, he'll have him in there all the time. So I thought, if I'm going to spend money, I'm not going to put my big bulk in midfield on that. I'll rather go for Salah. I'll rather go for Fernandes. I'll rather go for Grealish. These are players that I know will be shooting. They'll be doing their bit for their team. They've been in form and they are going to continue in their form. I mean, Fernandes doesn't even have to be in form. He'll get 2 penalties. It doesn't matter. He's got a slot one. If he doesn't slot it, he'll get a second chance. He'll have another go. So.
I think with me, I did think the same way you did in terms of Fernandes and of maybe a cheaper Man City asset like Foden. But once again, based on the upcoming fixtures, it didn't make sense for me to bring in Fernandes when they have Southampton, who actually have a really good defensive record recently. Yeah. West Ham, who once again also have a good defensive record, and then they have Man City. Those are 3 very tough fixtures in the next, 3 weeks. Not to mention they're also obviously playing the Champions League, and they've got quite a few games coming up. And Fernandes has been playing them all. I can see him getting a bit fatigued. So I did think about that. Kevin De Bruyne spoke about the team being fatigued, and I'm actually happy when he spoke about it. He was honest. He said we are tired. They've played, they travelled. They came and played against Tottenham, and it wasn't an excuse, but they were generally a bit more tired. So players are, seeing it kick in now with the short pre-season they've had and, playing back-to-back games and stuff. It's all kicking in now. That's why you're getting so many injuries as well. However, my thought frame is I'm looking, like I said, a lot of these transfers I have planned ahead, 3 to 4 weeks in advance what I'm going to be doing. And these players that I do have in my team, they're good to go for at least 4 weeks. In that time, I do plan to have a week where I will have 2 free transfers. And within that week, I do hope to bring in Fernandes because United will have easier fixtures. They'll have, your Sheffield United and so on. And those fixtures will be easier for them to get the points. Your Leeds, who do concede and so on and so forth. But that's when I might look to bring in Fernandes. And then I might look to downgrade Kevin De Bruyne depending on his performance. Or once again, I might downgrade Salah because at that point, Liverpool would have finished playing their Brighton, Wolves and Fulham and they'd be looking at Tottenham and so on and so forth. So it does depend. But I think for me right now, I'm looking at the next 3 to 4 games and looking at the players who have the best fixtures. And personally, for me, I don't think United have the best of fixtures.
No, I mean, you've got to play the percentages. And like you said right at the beginning, you can't have them all. So it's not just a question of so-and-so is going to get points. But if you think another person's going to get more points, then by all means go for that person. It's a simple game sometimes. It really is simple. There's no hate it.
You're all about to witness a monument to throw down.
There's a tip for you, Jamie, actually. What Derek has done is obviously he's played his wild card, but he doesn't envisage making any changes to it because that's the whole point, really. So by all means, hold tight. You pick the people you picked for a reason. Yeah. And, if you already you're sick of 2 or 3 of them after 1 week, just cool your jets a little bit. Not that I'm going to tell you how to run your team. Again, I think you've done pretty well.
Jamie's got an amazing team, really good team, and obviously he's doing well in the league as well. So
I'm praying.
You're climbing. You're climbing. I keep seeming to bounce around 200k. I can't get into top 100k no matter how hard I try. But even then, I think I might save a transfer this week as well, because originally my plan was to get Sterling in. I'm like you, Jamie. Sometimes I do think KDB is a little bit overrated.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I like it. Sounds crazy, but I do. I just think he's he just crosses and hopes for the best. And if it's all going well, if it's all going wrong, he crosses even more. I just hopes it lands on somebody.
I suppose so. But like people are like, he had a bad game, and I'm like, well, yeah, he does have bad games. He has lots of bad games, and people always also forget. But when City last won the title, he hardly played for them. That's how important he is. So anyway, again, that's another debate for another day. But I'm not so sure about bringing in Sterling because I'd have to take another -4 to do it mainly. So I'm just going to see what happens with the Chelsea game, And again, people seem to think that Chelsea have a solid defence now. But again, I'm not so sure. And I know I'm doing rah-rah talk now because I've got Chilwell in my team, but I got him in mainly for the attacking threat because he just hangs around near the far post, doesn't he? So that's why I brought Chilwell in.
I don't think Chelsea have a solid defence yet.
No,
I agree as well.
Yeah, I think we've been led into false security there. We've had a couple of good games and everybody's like, oh, well, Frank Lampard's got the defence sorted out. But they will see. They will see.
In one of my other leagues, there's someone with a triple Chelsea defence, and I literally cannot wait for the next game.
Oh my god!
Why would you do that?
Wow! Talk about putting all your eggs in one basket.
Honestly,
Chelsea fan.
That's unbelievable.
No, he's not a Chelsea fan.
That is unbelievable. I mean, they have had a good few clean sheets though. They have. It's been good for them because it just so coincides with the Mendy guy coming in. I looked at top clean sheets for the league and he's up there. I think he's he's top 2.
He's a good keeper though.
But I think that's just more.
They keep Mendy, right?
Yeah, they keep Mendy, right?
Yeah,
they keep Mendy. But it's I think it's more just a reflection of, I don't know, I feel like it's almost luck. Like people talk about Man United doing so well. It's like, look, if you look at how Man United have been playing, it literally is luck. Like sometimes when they win, it's like you guys have been playing trash. Like West Brom, one player nutmegged 3 guys, a West Brom player. Okay.
That was brilliant.
And that was brilliant. I was like, you guys are playing trash. How dare you? And then, well, they get a pen. Well, sorry, 2 pens. It's like,
Yeah, imagine playing Manchester United getting a pen. Yeah, that sounds pretty lucky to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it's a stonewall, look, karma's an interesting thing because just the last game, I mean, Arsenal should have got a penalty, but hey, lo and behold, we weren't wearing a Red Devils t-shirt, so we didn't get it.
Fair enough. They have had a hell of a lot of penalties this season, so. But then that's why people brought Fernandes in. They're not overthinking it, and and they were handsomely rewarded this week.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, shall we get on to previewing what's going to be game week 10?
Yeah, I was going to say, what are your thoughts captain-wise, guys, for this game week? There's quite a few options, aren't there? It's a tough one.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to go with Salah.
Yeah.
If I don't bring Sterling in.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I'm going to go with Salah. I feel like he's going to be chomping at the bit to get back at the Premier League. So I'm thinking DCL at Leeds United. I don't know. Oh my gosh. It's a tough one,
Leeds do concede, don't they?
They do, and Calvert-Lewin will love it. The space at the back, he will love it. Because they haven't got very good defenders when it comes to heading out. That's why Arsenal kept trying to cross it in, but we ain't got no strikers who can head it in, so it doesn't work out. No. But DCL, yeah, that's actually a really good question. For me, it's a toss up between Calvert-Lewin and Salah. That's where I'm going.
DCL is looking like a serious captaincy pick because he ticks over, doesn't he? He's like the Jimenez of the past seasons now. You know,
He'll get one. He'll get one by nook or by crook. He could be having the worst game. He'll get a quick header in 90th minute.
True. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's his game now, isn't it? So yeah, that's what it's looking like for me. I could be really clever and risk it with one of the Spurs boys. Although, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't get a huge amount of points against Chelsea. But on the other hand, I still think they're capable of coming away from that game with something. If Mourinho can slap down Guardiola, what's he going to do to Lampard?
Yeah, this is true.
Nah, Lamps has got this.
Wow. Wait, so we might as well go into predictions. What you're saying? Lampard's got this.
Lampard's got
wait.
this.
Who's your captain? Who's your captain, Derek?
All he's gonna do is just, call Mason Mount in the evening, be like, Mason, you know what you got to do for me tomorrow, don't you? It's like, don't worry, boss, I won't let you down. It's like, that's why I love you. And he's gonna do bits. He's gonna do bits for him.
Give me 3 shots on target from 30 yards. That's all I'm asking.
Did you get that PS5 I sent you, Mason? Thanks, boss.
All right. Honestly, so for me, there are 4 people who I'm considering as captain options. So I'll rate it from the one with the most potential down to the one which I think is probably the least potential, but they're all quite high, to be fair. So for me, the most potential is De Bruyne. I know you guys have been cussing him today, but my favourite KDB. So De Bruyne, then you got Vardy, then you got Salah, then you got Calvert-Lewin. That's my order.
I think Vardy's the best out of that one.
Vardy and De Bruyne were very close, but I just think because they've come off a loss and Pep is going to be drilling him and De Bruyne is playing at home and he's just got so much to prove after the last game, he's just going to be doing bits against Burnley. But Fulham are terrible at the back, so Vardy is going to have run riot on them. I do think Vardy is probably number 1, but I don't know.
Well, the thing about Fulham is they tried to play. They tried to play it out from the back, and I mean, I know most teams play it out from the back now, but the thing is, Fulham are no good at it, and they keep insisting on doing it. And that Vardy loves that type of stuff. He loves that mess, doesn't he?
You
run it off your centre back.
Yeah.
It's like Scott Parker's rocking up there with his 11, and we said, Jamie Vardy, we got together. Me and the lads got together. We know it's not quite Christmas yet, but we got you a little something. Here, we're going to pass it out from the back. Merry Christmas. Oh, thanks, lads. You shouldn't have. I'm back on course with the Golden Boot now. I don't know. But you're right. I mean, maybe it's just a case of when, if rather than if, Man United is going to start banging. But I'm going to risk it, give them one more week to show me that they're really back. And then bring in Sterling. And other than that, Solly Marsh is going to be my man in the midfield. Can you believe that? Solly Marsh got me 9 points last.
That's crazy.
I literally couldn't believe that when I saw it.
I'm going to put my hand up and say that was 100% Jam. Because when I brought him in at first, again, it was just because I didn't have any money for anybody else. He didn't even play. And then when I saw Salah was out, I said, oh, okay, I'll stick him in, see what happens. And then he scores that screamer. And I thought, yeah, saved me there.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right, then, let's have a look at the predictions. Again, I'll do my best to stick to the more important games. So on Saturday, we've got Brighton at home to Liverpool, although I'm guessing not an awful lot more can be said about this, but what are the predictions?
Okay, who wants to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. It's at Liverpool.
Oh, no, they're at the Amex Stadium.
Okay, cool. All right, just checking. Because I had something to say about Anfield, but I'll leave that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Go on.
What are you saying?
Huh?
What have you got to say?
Well, I don't know. There's been a certain record that got broken today. Well, this is Liverpool's first loss at Anfield in how many? In 90 minutes? I don't know, since 2018 or something. Just in 90 minutes, because I know you guys have lost on penalties and whatnot. But mate,
Well,
the Liverpool golden era is well and truly done.
can I just say though, we haven't lost in the Prem at
Oh,
home
caveat,
for over 60 something games, so come for us in it.
Like
caveat,
63 games, I think, something like that.
caveats. It's all
So,
right. It's all right.
our
Don't
home
worry.
Prem record is still strong. And
Bit by
even
bit.
though, even with our injuries and Van Dijk out, we still destroying teams like Leicester, sending them shops,
Look,
and not
all I'm
even letting them
saying,
get themselves anything.
I'm officially announcing is the beginning of the end for Liverpool.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you heard it here first, people.
Look, like Rome didn't fall in a day. It fell brick by brick. Okay.
Oh,
And brick
whatever.
by brick, you guys are dropping back into your mid-table finishes.
That's earth-shattering predictions here. We don't play.
No
We
problem.
don't play. We bring the true Richter scale 9.9 earth-shaking predictions right here.
Okay.
So,
So what's your prediction at the Amex? Sorry for interrupting.
well, me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, okay. I am going to go with a high-scoring Liverpool win
Mm.
because Brighton just don't seem to give a flying whatever who they're playing. They're all about the attack. So they might get something at one end, but that's just going to suit Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously going to go for the Liverpool win. Easy Liverpool win.
And I agree. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I think Liverpool are going to have Salah back. He's going to come back hungry and firing, and yeah, he's going to find loads of gaps.
There you have it. All right then, Man City versus Burnley at the Etihad.
I think that's going to be a big win for City.
Okay.
I think City will win, but I don't think it's going to be that big. I don't think it's going to be like two, like even, I don't know if it's going to go 2-0. Like, I'm not sure. I think City are going to win, but I'm not sure it's going to be like a thumping.
I'm between the two of you, but if you had to twist my arm, I'm going to follow Jamie. And the only reason I'm going to do that and hope it's going to be a laboured, low-scoring win for City is because my plan is not to get any City players. So the last thing I want is for them to go nuts against Burnley. The fact is they're capable of doing it, and they've done it so many times in the past. On the other hand, Burnley, like I pointed out a couple of weeks ago, they've got me and Tarkowski back. It looks like Sean Dyche has got them defending again. They picked up their first win of the season, didn't they? So that's going to give them a bit of confidence. And like Man City, they're not quite in the zone yet. Again, they might get into the zone that game. They might not. I mean, they did win today, but again, it was only 1-0. I thought they were going to take their opponents apart in the Champions League, and they just didn't. They literally had the one goal, and that was it. Well, we've qualified for the last 16. So I don't know. I agree with Jamie on that one. That's the hope anyway. And then De Bruyne gets a hat trick.
Well, what I just want a Foden goal, 90th minute. That's all I need. 3 bonus points. Lovely stuff.
Now that you said that, you know he's only going to come on for the last 3 minutes, don't you?
And he'll get the winner.
All right then. Moving swiftly on, let's look at Southampton v Man U, and that's going to be at St Mary's.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna go with a score draw. I don't know. I don't see it. I can't predict it either way because I don't think Man United are going there thinking that they're gonna win straight, like easy, just because of Southampton's form, or at least how Southampton have been seen to play this season, not necessarily their current form.
No, fair enough. Derek, you want to go or?
Yeah, so I think it's a tough one,
It is a tough one because I thought about like they're not even gonna be at Man United aren't at home, but then again they're better away from home. So
It's true. They do seem to do better away from home.
But the Southampton have a very good record as well. I think a draw. I think that's fair, considering they're both actually like Southampton aren't pushovers. Wolves couldn't beat them, and Wolves were at home. Do you know what I mean? And Wolves are playing quite well.
Yes, it's true.
Theo Walcott, man. Theo Walcott.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a draw for me.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a Southampton win.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still carrying that candle of mine about Solskjaer. That's number one. Number two, I've always rated Hasenhüttl. Number three, Man United are just inconsistent. And every now and again, they lose games that people expect them not to lose. And I think this is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So
Southampton have just been so good. They've just been so good. Like, they drew against Chelsea and they've beaten all the other teams. They drew against Wolves. I mean, the last game they lost was against Spurs, 5-2. But that was like early September. And since then, they've just been on point. I mean, they lost against the current leaders. Surely that's got to say something.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, I can just see Southampton pressuring Man United into loads of mistakes. I can just see it happening. I can see De Gea having another nightmare of a game. I can see Martial huffing and puffing. I can see Fernandes having a quiet game. And I can picture it right now. Marcus Rashford standing on the halfway line with his hands on his hips. I'm seeing all of this, man.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction. You know, I'm just being spiteful, but there you go.
No, I agree. I see
it. Chelsea versus Spurs.
Chelsea win.
That's the
Chelsea win. I'd say 2-1 to Chelsea.
Do you know what? I may have said a draw, but apparently Alderweireld is out now, and even though Mourinho's Mourinho, without the personnel, he might find it hard to keep back that marauding trio. They've got, four, Ziyech, Werner, Abraham, Havertz, pick one. They're all going to make life difficult for Spurs. Can he pull off 2 shock wins in a row? I don't know, but now that Alderweireld's out, I'm going to say probably a Chelsea win. But again, it's not going to be easy for them.
When did the news come out about Alderweireld?
It might have been just today, actually.
Because I didn't know about that. That's interesting. That does put a span in the works, because I mean he's their rocket defense. He's their main guy. He's the consistent guy.
Well, I mean, he's pretty much the only one, because I think Davinson Sanchez, he hasn't been impressive. Eric Dyer hasn't been all that impressive, frankly. So if they're going to keep a clean sheet, it's really down to him, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I see what you mean.
See if he's flagged. Yes, he's flagged. They flagged him on FPL. Says here, groin injury expected back 19th of December.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. That's big, but considering the fixtures they have.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is big.
Yeah, that is.
Those guys are going to have to start performing at the back there. Seriously.
It's going to be who scores more. That's it for them for the next few weeks.
Who's going to be in for him again?
It's going to have to be Sanchez and Dyer, although that kid Rodon gets played occasionally.
Yeah.
And Mourinho has been known to play Ben Davies as a centre-back as well, but I don't think Ben Davies...
I think it's going to be Dyer. Dyer did play well when he's played in that position, when he's tried to play
He's done okay, but I don't know. I just look at him and I just think, I don't like you. I don't like you. There's something about you that I just don't like.
I don't like you.
I can't put my finger on it.
I don't blame you. I don't like him very much.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, Arsenal v Wolves.
It's going to be a boring game, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a tough watch. I think I can't even predict it. I'm so lost with what's going on at Arsenal right now. I don't even know. It's heartbreaking to say. I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
No, you guys. I was going to say you lot go ahead with your predictions. I'll go last.
Okay. let me see if I can lift you up a little bit here, Jamie. I read somewhere, and I think there's some truth to this, that ever since Arteta went with 3 at the back, it's been affecting the attack. And although 3 at the back has helped Arsenal defensively, the Villa game aside, I think what it's added to in defence has subtracted from the attack. So let's say Arteta just decides, look, this is no good. We need to start scoring goals. He might go for a back 4 in this game. And if he does, I think Arsenal stand a good chance of getting something from this game. But if he sticks with the back 3, then it's going to be the same old kind of just both sides really just labouring, I think, for 90 minutes. And a draw possibly even a scoreless one.
Yeah. I think a lot of it depends if Partey's back as well. I think Partey's very needed in the midfield. Our midfield just looks pointless. There's no link up there.
Mm,
So I don't know if he's back or not.
They just need to play. They just need to play Ozil, man. You can't be on the sideline.
He's not even registered.
Tweeting "Ya Gunners, ya" all the time.
All right. Look, we don't need to pile it on.
Let's go, "Ya Gunners, ya."
He's like the Diana Princess of Wales of Arsenal. He's been frozen out, but he's crusading for the. Did you see? Did he have a pop at the other day? Was it Piers Morgan?
Piers
had a pop at him.
Piers had a pop at him. He said, because Ozil tweeted, "Let's go," and Piers said something around, "Yes, please do
go. Yeah, it's time for you to go."
Yeah.
And he said, "Did you get? How would you know? Have you been hacking my phone or something?" I think that's what he said.
So are you being serious, or has your account been hacked?
Yeah, that was it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh God, he just needs to give up. Just stop it. It's cringy.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, like the reality of the situation is, come January, he's not gonna be here. Like we're gonna know that he's not playing again, because that's when you get a second chance to write up your squad, right? And that's it, more or less. Just
I think so. Well, yeah, generally speaking, but stranger things have happened. I mean, there's some people who've been on teams who generally look like they were dead and buried, and then they just come back for whatever reason. But I don't know. As for Partey, yeah, nobody knows when he's coming back.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem likely he's going to be back this weekend. But yeah, did anybody else? Derek, did you have any thoughts on how that game's going to go?
It's going to be a dry game, probably a 1-0 win to Wolves.
Okay, no problem.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right, then let's move on in that case to the player picks. Who wants to go first with that?
You guys go. I think I've already gone through my team, so you already know who I've chosen. So I'll probably go last.
Yeah. All right, then I will go first in that case, if you don't mind. Who's on my mind? Who's keeping me up all night? I didn't mean it to come out like that. This is difficult, really, because I think we've pretty much mentioned everybody over and over again, haven't they? Okay, I'm going to say Kyle Walker-Peters, because I think he's yours for 4.6 mil, and he's quite attacking, and he's playing in a team that's playing well, and they're also capable of getting clean sheets, so you could do a lot worse than that kid. Kyle Walker-Peters at Southampton, and then I'm just going to go for one more because I'm struggling here a little bit. We've just been through everything. Okay, yeah, I remember. This is a complete punt. It's like the puntiest punts that ever punted. But Danny Welbeck, I think he looked good.
Danny.
Did you see his finish? Did you see that?
Cheeky chip.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine to have played so little football over like the past 2 or 3 seasons, to come on the pitch, run nearly half the length of the pitch, and then do that like it just ain't no thing. I think he's looking dangerous, and we all know that Brighton like to attack. And if Potter, knows what's good for him, he will play strikers who are in form. Because let's face it, Morpay's not doing it. Yeah, Aaron Colony, there was a lot of potential, but he's not really taking it to the next level. And why not stick with Welbeck?
Shout.
No, I agree. Yeah. I think you're right there.
And he is yours for, let me see how much Welbeck costs.
Must be at about 5.5, surely.
Yeah, 5.5. Yeah, spot on, Derek. So he's cheaper than Morpay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So those are my 2 picks: Kyle Walker-Peters and Danny Welbeck.
I'm so happy for Danny, man.
I am.
Cool. Do you want to go next, Jamie?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go for, if you're just talking about a pick generally this week, I would go for Calvert-Lewin, because I already think that I've said that I think he's probably going to be my captain, and I think he's going to be doing well. Player that I don't have that I think to look into, why not go for another ex-Arsenal player? I think Theo Walcott. I think you've got to keep your eyes on him.
Yeah.
5.8 million. He seems to be he fits in like a glove at Southampton. They've got a potent attack, as we know. He seems to be coming in for assists and goals. So yeah, definitely looking to Theo Walcott for the future. I mean, I'm thinking he might get him in.
Yeah, he's listed. Is he listed as a midfielder as well?
Yeah, he's a mid.
Yeah, so extra point for a goal. What's not to like?
Decent. Okay, I'm gonna go last. So obviously, I've just got two players in mind. So the first one is Target from Villa. He's one of the fullbacks and he's got a lot of attacking potential, but also they've got some really good fixtures coming up against West Ham, Newcastle, Wolves, Burnley, West Brom. I think he can keep clean sheets and maybe even get an assist or two, but it's mostly around the clean sheets. So I do think at a price of 4.5 mil, he is worth having in teams, especially for the next game or two. The next one is a surprising pick for me, but I actually want to see how this plays out. I want to pick Johnston. Is that what it's called? Johnston?
Is he the keeper for West Brom?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a really good game, actually, didn't he?
He made some amazing saves, like point blank saves. He was amazing. And his next game is against Sheffield United.
Oh,
We
is
all
it?
know Sheffield are the lowest, like have the lowest scoring or something, or maybe one of the lowest scoring, are one of the lowest scoring teams in the Prem at the moment. So I don't expect them to pose much of an attacking threat against West Brom. And West Brom, which only conceded one goal from United, and United were like literally going all out. They had so many chances. So I do see them
and I would just like to point out that they were actually very good chances as well. It wasn't just a case of trying to smack it in for 30 yards. They were goals, really good shots, which really should have gone in.
Yeah, there was this one save he made from Martial, and I thought, how the hell did he make that save?
That's what I was thinking.
Wow.
But like he's a quality keeper, and I think with his next game, especially against Sheffield, and then his next two games against Crystal Palace and Newcastle, he is worth probably considering, especially for this game week. So yeah, those are my two picks.
That's all good.
Got some interesting picks there, boys.
Yeah.
Should be good to see.
That's it. Well, we always keep it interesting. It's not run of the mill here. It's the realness, real talk.
And lo and behold, Liverpool finishing 10th this season.
Do you know what? If that happens, I'm getting my lottery numbers off you, man. Because that's just...
Don't talk to me about lottery numbers. I lost this week. I was hoping for the Euro Millions.
Arteta's just waiting and thinking about the next Carling Cup you guys are going to win, or whatever cup it's called. Whatever cup.
Oh my
Whatever God. Mickey Mouse Cup you're going to win to try and get in the Europa League.
Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
That's what he's thinking about.
Wow.
Did you hear that Nigerian billionaire wants to buy a stake in Arsenal and bring the glory days back?
I'll believe it when he buys it, man. He's the second one to say it.
Thing. If it'd been anybody else, I would have been excited, but it just sounds like another 419, doesn't it? Really?
Is it that hush puppy?
Yeah. I will give me your PIN number, and I will buy Arsenal shares in your name. I also need a passport and your passport number. Damn. All right.
All I'm saying is, if a Nigerian buys shares in Arsenal, you can expect to see you won't be in the starting 11 again.
That's so harsh, man.
It will sell Saka. It will sell Saka immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
There is that. Yeah.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
All right. Well, yeah. I think we're getting to the end of this week's episode. Before we go, just want to remind everyone, if you're listening on YouTube, give us a subscribe so you know when the episodes are coming out. Give us a like as well. It's all good. And if you're listening,
it's free to give us a like, so don't be shy.
I know. Totally free. It doesn't cost you nothing. And also on Spotify, hit follow as well.
Yeah.
Again, it's all good. It's not going to cost you nothing. You get your weekly episodes. They'll start on your phone. So if you're cooking, walking a dog, driving along, whatever, you get us.
Follow us on Twitter as well, guys. What's our at again?
At FPL_Bros.
Bros. There you go.
Simple to remember. You listen to FPL Bros and you go to Twitter at FPL_Bros. How could you possibly forget that? All right, then. So thanks very much again, guys, for coming out and doing the pod. Really appreciate the time out. It's much love for that, and all that's left for me to say now is goodbye, everyone. Green arrows.
Good luck, guys.
See you later, guys.